Notcoin is dying, and we can see this in data that you don't have any access to. I am seeing how attention on Not is going down, and with declined attention, of course, the price has to follow as well. Now there's something very interesting happening. The Ton blockchain is actually defying all odds. The Ton blockchain sees continued adoption, yet Notcoin, the leading meme coin on Ton, isn't doing great. So had you invested into Not 1 month ago, you'd now be down more than 50%. We are currently at 10 cents per Not. The fully diluted market cap is at a bit over $1 billion. Bitcoin didn't do too well in that last month either. It went down by 20%, but still, right? Minus 50% versus minus 20%. That's quite a stark difference. Now let me show you that data regarding attention on Not. I published 4 videos on the token on this channel. The very first video was published more than a month ago and it got almost 35,000 views. Another video a few days afterwards followed that got 14,000 views. And see how those numbers are declining. Here's the next video. That one only got 9,000 views. And the very recent video published a bit over a week ago only got 2,600. It was a below average video. It's now starting to climb again with the Notcoin crash. But yeah, I published one of those videos. Things don't add up for Notcoin. The market cap was way larger compared to adoption metrics. As in, on-chain, on the Ton blockchain, we didn't see that many transfers. In other words, a lot of the price action was probably influenced by the centralized exchanges. But I'm not going to repeat the content of those prior videos. Feel free to check them out. I want to focus on something else. What we've got over here is the Notcoin price relative to the Ethereum price. So now we try to remove the ups and downs of the general crypto market and we look at the idiosyncratic movements of Notcoin. And initially we had a massive sell-off due to the airdrop. Then we've seen quite a bit of recovery. But since the 2nd of June of this year, so for a bit over a month, we've seen a pretty constant underperformance. And that underperformance happens in a somewhat predictable downtrend. We are neither very high nor very low within that downtrend. And this development is interesting because at the same time we see how the Ton blockchain continues to see adoption. And that's happening despite all odds. We've now got a total value locked on the Ton blockchain of almost 700 million. And when we look at the top blockchains ordered by total value locked, Ton is at number 11, and Ton is one of the only blockchains that actually saw an increase in its total value locked in the last month. Pretty much all other blockchains saw capital flowing out. Isn't that fascinating? Ton itself is doing phenomenally well, but the main meme coin on Ton is not doing great. I believe this has something to do with the general market trying to de-risk. Let's have a look at Ton relative to Ethereum. So again, we are trying to isolate the idiosyncratic movements by dividing by the Ethereum price. And yes, in general, we have seen a nice long-term upwards trend. But again, things tend to get somewhat into dangerous territory, right? As in risk versus reward is not necessarily super attractive in this current market. And with the current market, I of course mainly mean this over here. This is the stablecoin market cap. It's the sum of DAI and Tether and USDC and BUSD combined. This is not expanding since the end of April of this year. So more than 2 months of zero inflows into the stablecoins. There's no more fiat getting deposited in some on those centralized exchanges. On top of that, we see that Bitcoin has crossed the 120-day simple moving average. I have made a back test trying to find the best moving average for Bitcoin. The best historically is the 120-day. I made a separate video on this. Feel free to just check the recent video on Bitcoin on this channel. I'm explaining how this all works. I tested all moving averages between 2 days to 200 days. The 120-day tends to predict prices the best, as in when the price falls below that moving average, we tend to turn bearish. And so we have lost momentum in Bitcoin 2 weeks ago. And that then, in my opinion, explains why everything is red. And that also explains why people de-risk with Notcoin. I am a fan of putting the odds in our favor, not trying to pick the needle in the haystack, the one asset that might do well. I like to rather bet on most assets now underperforming. It's 100% player versus player. No new money is getting into crypto. And so when most assets are likely going to underperform because returns are concentrated in just a few players, if in general the market tends to not do so well, why not simply just bet on that? Why not just short everything? Here is one asset that I'm shorting. I'm not sharing what asset that is here on YouTube, but in premium you can find it out. Here's another asset that I'm shorting. Again, we're looking for assets that don't have a lot of volatility and that tend to decline relatively constantly. So if you've got a crypto portfolio of $5,000 or more, feel free to check it out. I do believe that premium pays for itself if you're simply just short basic tokens that have high token inflation or that have a lot of supply hitting the market. When no money is flowing into crypto and when there's no attention on most assets, then why not take advantage of that? I believe it's easier actually to make money in a bear market than it is in a bull market. In a bull market, we have to find the few winners. In a bear market, we can simply just short everything. And right now, it seems to be pretty obvious that we are starting a bear market. I've exited very close to the top. Again, feel free to check out the prior Bitcoin video. I'm sharing premium videos from that time when I sold. And so I believe strongly in the power of on-chain analytics and in the power of backtests. It's at least how I personally generated my alpha in the past, and I believe those approaches will continue to work in the future. If your portfolio isn't yet large enough to justify premium, there's also a free Telegram. The link is as well down below. Looking very much forward to chatting with you over there as well. Cheers!